All right, cake for Canada Day. So we're gonna do a maple strawberry cream cake. So I have 1.5 cups of flour with a heaping tablespoon of baking powder and baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using all-purpose flour. Get it in a bowl. Just put it through a sieve. We're gonna separate here 8 eggs. So I'm gonna put the egg whites in one bowl, the egg yolks in another bowl. So we get them separated. We're gonna whip them separately and whip them all nice. So this is a very nice light cake, and we're gonna get our 9-inch cake pans. We're gonna grease the pans with butter, put a bit of flour into the pan, and kind of bang it around, move the pan around in a circular fashion. That way the flour will mix all over the place, touching everywhere with this butter. Wherever it touches butter, it'll stick. All right, any excess, we bang it out, put it in the next pan. We have 1.5 cups of sugar. So we're starting to whip our egg whites. I got some maple seasoning here, some maple essence. I'm gonna put about a 1/4 teaspoon of maple essence into the egg whites and about 1 cup of sugar. We're gonna whip these egg whites so they're peaking nice, and you can lift up the egg whites at an angle and they hold their shape nicely. So this has been whipped up nicely. Now we get to the egg yolks. With the egg yolks, I'm going to put in about a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla essence. That's my vanilla from Dominican. Man, that vanilla from Dominican is nice. Now, I've whipped this for a good 5 minutes. It looks almost like hollandaise sauce. You can see the colors change. It's much thicker. And then we're going to fold the egg yolks and the egg whites together very gently. So you don't want to whip them up so you break it all down, because the more you whip it up at this point, you're going to, a lot of the air will start to pop and it'll break down more to liquid. You want to keep it nice and fluffy. After this nicely mixed, I'm going to carefully mix in my 1.5 cups of flour mix. Everything's nicely mixed, and we're going to pour them into our 9-inch molds. The oven's been preheating at 350 degrees. So we got them on the go, in the oven. There you go. All right. So both pans in the oven, 350 degrees. We're going to give it 25 minutes. You should be able to just give the shelf a bit of a bang, and they should wobble just a little bit, right? So Cassie, our sous chef, is cutting up the strawberries, getting ready. So they're still a little bit moving inside the middle, which is fine. As it cools down, it's going to keep cooking. Because it is egg white and egg yolk mixed together, when it cools down, it will shrink a little bit, right? So we have a whipped cream. So what do the whipped cream? Add more maple essence. So we're going to whip that up with a little bit of sugar. We got our strawberries getting sliced up. Lots of strawberries to slice. Cassie's slicing, I'm slicing. We get it all on the go. All right. So it's been about an hour and a half later since we've taken these out of the oven. Run a knife around the pan. They've cooled down nicely. Slide right out of their cake pan. I'm going to cut it right in half. I'm going to use my bread knife here. Just gently cut it in half because it is quite a delicate cake. It's very light. I have some Canadian maple syrup. We're going to put it in a bowl and just slightly dab it onto the cake. You want to do it very gently so you don't pull the cake apart. It's a very light cake. A little bit of that whipped cream with the maple essence in it. So we're going to put in some strawberries. These strawberries are cut nice and thin. We're just going to put them all around the place so there's a nice coating of strawberry. Alright, gotta like our strawberries. Then a little bit more Canadian maple syrup on the top part of the cake. A little bit of cream on top of those strawberries. So when I put the two pieces together, it helps them bind. More maple syrup on the top of the cake. And then we're going to smear it with our lovely 35% whipping cream, which is whipped up and is nice and yummy because we put a bit of more maple in there. Canada Day, Maple Day. Alright, now I'm going to surround it with more strawberries. We cut these strawberries nice and evenly. We put them all around the cake. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of maple sugar over the strawberries, add a little bit more maple flavor, and I have some apricot jam. Now what I do with the apricot jam is I put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, softens up. You don't want it to be hot because it'll melt the cream, and just slightly dab the strawberries with it because we're going to take this to a party tonight. So I want this to be glazed, put it in the fridge. That glaze will become a little bit harder, those apricot jam, and look nice and shiny. I'm dabbing a few drops of maple syrup around the cake as well because it is a maple cake, and that is our Canadian maple strawberry cream cake.